Alrighty, also this tweet right here ended up on my timeline. Since we are in anniversary season again, how would you rank these from worst to best overall from Gabby's place? Yeah. Oh, Gabby follows me. Gabby, thank you. I appreciate that. We've got, of course, all 7 of them. I have been here for all of them. I've spent money on them. I farmed the free-to-play characters. I've done the random immediate EZAs that are actually way worse for the units than you think, unless they really do implement EZAs where we can EZA and EZA. It is what it is, right? Like, it's cool that it EZAs, but also it's like, man, so that unit is basically done. Like, there's no hope for that unit later on. That's not why we're here, though. We're here to actually just rank these. So I actually made my own. What was that? Oh, okay. Yeah. 7th, all others. Only 7th anniversary is Godku. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I made my own tier list, and we're gonna rank these from worst to best. Now, I just want to put out there, for me specifically, and I think for a lot of people too, and I'm sure a lot of you watching, yes, there's an objective tier list here where you count up how many free-to-play stones, you count up how many free-to-play units that release, and of course I also have the timeline here so we can go back and we can just look and see everything. And so there is a much more objective way to go about this, but I think ultimately, especially after I mean, we're talking about 8 years of this game. You know, you're looking back, it's been 7 years since the first anniversary, 6 years since the second. That's a long time. And so when you start reflecting back on those, I honestly, without going to this, just off the top of my head, I can't tell you all the events that we had for the second anniversary, but you know what I can tell you? That it was an AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and an STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I can also tell you that the game went down for several hours and my video went crazy because no one could get in, and I just happened to get in and it was a super laggy mess, and it was insane. It was insane. Specifically for second anniversary. That's about all I can tell you, right? Even 3rd year anniversary, I remember having like the Purunga wishes and they were crazy, but other than that, like the main thing I remember obviously are the LRs, and not even so much like part 2 related stuff, which this one did have some part 2 stuff, and the part 2 TOP banners really didn't launch until the 4th anniversary. This is when they established this thing where like, yeah, we're gonna release 2 DFE LRs part 1, and then part 2, guess what, you're getting 2 more LRs on this top banner. You know, and obviously as someone who just lives, breathes, and eats Dokkan, I remember that baby and the GT trio came out for 4 year, but you know who I really think about in 4 year? The Goku and the Vegeta. So I am probably going to let some of that weigh as I go through this tier list, let a little bit of it weigh on me. You know, just kind of some of the stuff I remember, but the primary thing I'm looking at is just purely the release of the characters and the DFEs themselves, because that really defines a celebration. Again, I know if you're like a crazy, super deep into the community Dokkan head, you really think about all the other things, but at the surface level, the thing that truly I think defines a celebration truly are at the top level, the actual units they release, and if the units are good, fun, look great, all of that. Secondly, probably the EZAs at this point. EZAs are a massive deal, you know, and so beyond that, you then get to some free-to-play characters, you get to how many stones they give out, you know, all, and I guess depending on your like perception of things, maybe the stones given out isn't the number one as well, but give or take, I feel like a lot of these are defined by their actual characters they released. So that's how I'll be beginning it. Let's start. I'm gonna go ahead now. I don't think I would have done this initially. Like, I think if you asked me, like, Tyler in the middle of the actual second anniversary, I probably would not have put it beneath the first, but in retrospect, something about it, and it might be just like rose tinted goggles here, but something about it just doesn't, I'm like, eh. So in the number 7th slot, we're gonna go with second anniversary. There's not really a lot to talk about because anniversaries and celebrations in general have just grown so much. There's not a lot to talk about, right? Like, we had, you know, side banner units that released, actually a substantial amount of side banner units that we got two to go with each of them, right? So Goku, it looks like, if I remember right, it was Goku Pan, and then Vegeta Baby Trunks. That was how the banners were structured. Oh yeah, looking at the actual medals, that's almost definitely how they ended up structuring these. And so that's how those are structured. I mean, and that was pretty much it. Now, one thing that the second anniversary did have that I do like and really wish they would have never gotten rid of is Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash 1.0, Battlefield 1.0. I loved this mode. I wanted more of it. They limited to how many times you could play it a day, which was so dumb. It should just let us play as many times as we want, and it would eventually become known just the Battlefield 2.0 that we have. They also dropped this LR Gohan. This was like the craziest drop of all time, right? They didn't really announce it. It was just in the summon pull, not featured. It was like a terrible rate to try and pull him. It was insane to pull that unit. So that's really about it. You know what I mean? I feel like I feel like, and even objectively, the second anniversary, I feel like most people would put pretty low, just because the whole point of these is they build and they get better over time. So coming to number 6, I'm gonna go ahead and put the first anniversary. Now, again, I do think if you broke every single thing down, the second anniversary is objectively probably better, but the first anniversary definitely still, I think, holds a special place in most people's like hearts, at least if you played during that time. And again, there's not a lot, like when you go to these, especially as we start looking at the future ones, it's kind of crazy like how little they did. Oh, these actually released not until February, so this was before they made the change. So you got the login character here, the 1-year Goku, and then the big ass Hope Goku. That was the translation for the Spirit Bomb in there, which this unit right here, really cool. You haven't been able to get him since. Obviously some people are speculating that he will come back at some point because of the theme that we are presuming is going to happen for 8-year here. Like, it's kind of cool, it's kind of not. I don't know. I kind of like some of these characters being sort of legacy characters. I know not everyone would agree with that, but it kind of is a signifier of like, I was around at that time, and I kind of like that. But this is what he Dokkan Awakened into. What is that, like a year and a half later? And I thought it was just kind of a cool sort of like I was there for it moment, you know. And he hasn't been around since 2017, which we're in 2023. That was a really long time ago. So then we jump into February 2016. Look at this. It's like, yep. Actually, there was actually quite a bit releasing. Not so much, it wasn't anniversary really related, right? It was just they were still actually just pumping out so much content, trying to just build out the actual content within the game itself. But as far as the actual like anniversary characters and summonable characters, it was literally just Janemba, the only extreme unit we've ever had as a Dokkan Fest anniversary unit. And then we had these other new cards that were in there. So I'm gonna give it the number 6 slot because I do remember it pretty fondly, especially for me as a creator. And the first anniversary was cool. It was cool. Coming in at number 5, we're gonna go with third anniversary. Oh, that was almost in good order here. Now, third anniversary I remember pretty fondly just because of the Purunga and being introduced. That was the first time, if I remember correctly, that when Purunga was actually third anniversary Japan. Yeah, that this is when Purunga was first initially introduced, and like the rewards were so dope, so sick, man. Like it was like, what? I cannot believe they're giving us that much stuff and you get to pick like more than one. Is this insane? So I remember that part of it pretty fondly. But outside of that, I mean, you know, obviously getting the first ever dual Dokkan Fest LRs was crazy. They were LR, like these were the first Dokkan Fest LR units period in the game. They transformed into Vegito, transformed into Gogeta. That was super sick. Again, the Purunga thing was nice. Third anniversary was really cool, actually. What were they doing in part 2 of the third anniversary? Oh, it was the Ginyu Force stuff. Yes, okay, it was Ginyu Force stuff. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable putting that right there. So number 4, maybe first up, one of the controversial placements for me. I'm gonna go with sixth anniversary. This one is a weird one for me because I do like TOP a lot. Like I do. It's you know, it's TOP. TOP is super exciting, but something about this one, especially thinking back on it, it just felt a little flat. Like I don't know what it was. The units were fine. You know, I was a big defender of the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. He wasn't as bad as people, you know, went on about, but obviously, and especially as time has progressed, the 70% dodge chance you get with UI Goku has aged infinitely better than the resetting damage reduction on this Vegeta. If this Vegeta would have just not had the situation where he gets his damage reduction reset at the beginning of each turn, he would be so much better. Like if you just, even if you just max this out to, well, 30% is really not enough anymore, but if you just max this out off of, you know, some attacks, even if it was up 5% every time you got attacked, at least at the time, that would have been better if it just stuck around and it never reset. But the reset sucked, dude. It made no sense. And so, you know, you got a mixture of that with like some pretty forgettable side banner units, at least in my opinion. Now, the part 2 LRs were also a little I don't know. I like them just fine. Well, okay, Roshi is an exception. That free-to-play Roshi is a ton of fun. The EZA for the UI Goku was really cool. This 17 and Frieza were such an interesting character, and I'm saying interesting in a way of like they were really that good. And then I enjoyed this unit quite a lot, but it was like, you know, like they definitely don't work now. They need an easy A, and they need to get some actual like defense pretty much. they get just absolutely demolished right now. They really have no way to defend themselves in a lot of the more modern content, but I did enjoy them. It's a cool concept for a unit. It's just obviously the other thing too with these tier lists, something has to be number 7 and something has to be number 1, and so that's where I'm putting it. The 6th anniversary, that's pretty much how I fall on it. Now these last 3, the top 3, the actual pedestals, right? We're getting into the top 3 here. I gotta go with the 4th anniversary. I don't know what it is about the 4th anniversary, but I just remember this one like very, very fondly, and I really like Super Saiyan 4. I've been super open about the fact that I think Super Saiyan 4 is one of the coolest forms like ever, and the fact that it was sort of felt like a repeat of the 2nd anniversary except better was super exciting, bro. Like it was incredibly exciting. Oh, that was also the awakening for LR B-Pan. That's a massive one, right? B-Pan's crazy. Oh, and we also got the dang, look at them. I forgot that the Fizz and the Tech Saiyan Saga Goku and Vegeta awakened during. Dang, dude. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see, what do they do in February as well? Yeah, we got the baby and GT3 are kind of oh look, it's more than likely. Also, speaking of which, easy A's that happen immediately, so this unit has just been, I wouldn't say DOA, but like can't really receive any more help now. These, you know, 4 years old in a month, but more than likely about to be one of the LRs during the 8th anniversary, so that, you know, all things come full circle. I don't know, I enjoyed the 4th anniversary quite a lot. I really did. It was a good time. It was a fun time. I don't really think there's anything else to say. It was LR Super Saiyan 4s. Also, they leaked early, which was like crazy. It was so crazy. Now, the top 2 is a really, really difficult one for me because they are 2 that I'm so fond of. And as much as I want to do this, I'm not. I want to do this, but I'm not going to. So we'll put them in. You know what? No, I want to feel. You know what? We're gonna put that one right there. That one's gonna hang out right there for now. I don't want to do that just yet. So, looking at the 5th anniversary, the 5th anniversary is, bar none, I really do think maybe my personal favorite anniversary. So I'm trying to not let that persuade me too much into putting that into that number 1 slot. I think it has been my personal favorite. The characters were just on point. These are 2 of my absolute favorite releases of all time. When they actually get their Extreme Z Awaken, which they are 3 years old in a month, which is just insane, dude. January 30th of 2020. That is in 10 days. That is in 10 days, and it will have been 3 years ago since these units were released. I still stand by the fact that this guy right here has the best looking active skill in the game, only potentially rivaled by Beast Gohan. And even then, like, I feel like it's a you ask me a different day of the week, I might say Beast Gohan, I might say this unit. Like, that's, and it's crazy that that's 3 years ago of animation. It's just the reference material was so incredible. That's why it looks so good. But these are bar none. Take out the anniversary part. These are just 2 of my favorite releases ever in the game. They're so much fun. They're so cool. Their animations are dope. I mean, this guy also is incredibly awesome as well. These are just such cool releases. Like, and to get them at the exact same time was like, what are they doing? How are they doing this? You know, and I think the only thing that really held this one back, and I would probably put this as number 1 indefinitely, is probably the part 2 stuff for it specifically, because this is lame. What in the world are they waiting on to give us an actual full power Broly? I don't understand. The fact that the only Super Saiyan Broly from the actual film, besides the free-to-play one, which by the way also released at the same time as the physical one, is the physical one. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. Why is this the only unit that is representing DBS Broly in his actual Super Saiyan or full power state? It makes no sense. Like, I said that last time. People were like, well, technically this, yeah, I know this guy is a thing. He's a free-to-play unit. He hasn't been touched. He's literally over 4 years old at this point. Like, that's not a good argument. So I think if this had have just been you know, an actual LR DBS Broly, that would have probably, I would honestly probably be saying this is like my favorite anniversary of all time. But also too, the Rose hasn't, he wasn't that crazy even at launch, and he hasn't aged well at all. So, you know, Rose is really cool, and I think that this LR art is actually so sick, dude. the LR art for this Rose is freaking dope, dude. Look at this unit. He is cool. He's cool for sure. He's definitely got the cool points down, but that's kind of where it ends. So looking at the 5th anniversary, I personally think it was a good anniversary. There were some things that definitely fell flat as well with this anniversary too. And also, by the way, the free-to-play Zamasu was sick as well. So looking at that, I think I'm going to put it in number 2. And then, yeah, it's number 1. 7th anniversary is peak, bro. Double Gogeta. You don't get too much better than that. And they actually handle them really well. The units are still really good. I know there's a lot of discourse in the community when talking about and looking at the 7-year LRs. But at the end of the day, those units are awesome. They are absolutely incredible. They killed them from animations to kits to everything. There's really nothing all that bad to say about them. I mean, you know, now on JP, we are a year out from these units. And the fact that you can still see them on a top 10 list is super impressive in my opinion, because we've seen a lot of insane units released in the last year. And the thing that shook up the formula, especially for Dokkan specifically, is the fact that we got superhero units too. And I know that like Ultimate Gohan is in a weird space and not exactly what we wanted, but Orange Piccolo is crazy good, absolutely incredible. And so these 2 units, I think the only thing that would have like made them just a little bit better is if this was not quite handled the way it was handled and it was actually just pure Gogeta. Like, I definitely get it. They still have the ability to make a standalone Gogeta at some point, or just revisit Gogeta Blue at some point again, because at this point he's just an active off of this. And Gogeta Blue at the moment has no standalone card, right? He's purely a transformation off the AGL Super Saiyan Gogeta and off of the base STR Gogeta. That's it. That's the only representation of Gogeta Blue in the entire game besides their active ability. And just based on everything that released with the 7th anniversary too, and while I do think that they fumbled the top banner for part 2, because I don't really know why they didn't just let these guys have their own Dokkan Fest like celebration instead of making them yellow coins, which definitely held them back. The Goku definitely shreds through stuff, but the Vegeta is a very wonky design. But yeah, the EZAs were great. Obviously, like, they had super fantastic EZAs. We were not expecting all the EZAs we got. The fact that the year 4's EZA'd, the year 3's EZA'd, it was like, what are they doing? Like, they are doing so much. It was so insane to have all of this release. And so it was a really good, really good anniversary. And this is my list. This is my list right here. So to come in at number 1, we have the 7-year, number 2, 5-year, number 3, 4-year, number 4, 6-year, number 5, 3-year, number 6, 1-year, number 7, 2-year. Let me know down below, what is your list? That's the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.